Hello, dear viewer. Welcome to 2021, a year that already started with a little bang, I would say, not that little, but it brings up a lot of expectations for another year of a little bit too interesting events. But none of this will be exactly the problem here on this channel, I don't think, at least. And I've been on a little hiatus since before Christmas, for which I am sorry as always. And I have a resolution for this year to not have a break longer than 2 or 3 weeks, and I will try to maintain this resolution. Of course, you know how the New Year's resolutions go frequently. And anyway, at any rate, we are getting very close to 1,000 subs mark, and that will be extremely exciting. And I do hope that most of you will be with me when that happens. And what the future brings, well, I'm thinking about a lot of things for this year, and I don't want to bore you to death with my plans to perhaps maybe start monetizing at some point in some ways, maybe without the adverts, for example, only by Patronite or Subscribestar or things like that. I don't think it will make much of a difference, and I would prefer to do it after I obtain a computer that would pretty much bring me up to the standard of a proper YouTuber. But that may not happen as soon as I hoped last year at approximately the same time. So maybe I have to do it the other way around and beg for some money and save them, and then buy a proper computer and upgrade myself to a proper YouTuber state of mind and equipment. And these things are, of course, a little bit boring. And what's not boring, I hope, is that I'm working on a rather long and hopefully interesting video that I should have done a few months ago, and I'm just sitting now writing it all up and thinking, and I will be recording and editing very soon. I'm also continuing, of course, the Let's Play. I think the Let's Play is quite fun. I am quite happy with how it develops, and I don't know if it will translate into views exactly, but I am getting more and more satisfied with both my ability to speak English without a writing, without something in a written form, like I am now, and therefore I am more confident when recording a Let's Play, and it instantly kind of translates into the content being a little bit more relaxed and a little bit more hopefully entertaining, and I feel like I'm just beginning, I'm just starting on my way to become a little bit of an entertainer for you guys. Anyway, that may happen, and I will try to improve myself in that aspect. And of course, builds will happen, obviously. Yes, I even have a little project in mind for a month or two now that will create a few videos at a faster rate than before. I will make another little sub-series of builds that will be slightly less detailed and slightly shorter, and perhaps without a backstory or with a very short one, but it will have a common theme, and I think it will be very nostalgic for some of you, and for me certainly. So I am going to do that. I'm starting on that as well. And yeah, that's the plan. I would love to include, and to play some other games, something fresher than Skyrim. But yeah, with my equipment, that's not really going to happen. Not with anything even remotely resembling a decent quality. So I will just have to think. I think this year, 2021, unless of course everything comes crashing down in flames, which is always a possibility for me privately or for the world in general. Unless that catastrophe happens, this year will be extremely demanding of me, I think, and challenging, and I will have to figure out ways of making content maybe a little bit faster. I will have to figure out how to maybe start monetizing, and I will have to figure out how to get a proper equipment, a proper gear, YouTubing gear, for a better sound and a better quality and a better frame rate and all that. So things may be, I'm quite sure I'm not going to do exactly as great of a job as I am hoping, but maybe I should not be so negative. I don't know. All right, I think I am talking for a long time now. It's only 6 minutes. I can talk more. Why not get to 10? Let's make it a little bit of a conversation. So you guys have been extremely helpful and supportive, and I really enjoyed the little evenings we had before Christmas for a few months, I believe, since at least since the beginning of November, if I remember correctly, the little evenings, Friday or sometimes Saturday evenings or afternoons for most of you, I believe, with Skyrim Let's Play, and that will continue to be a thing. Sometimes, at a rare occasion, I may not have the time to join you, and then I am not setting it up as a premiere because I don't see a point. You can just comment as usual underneath the video, but most of the time, I will most certainly keep on the premiere thingy when we can just watch together and talk about Skyrim and perhaps some other stuff if we like. So that will be a thing. I will have to mirror all of my content on BitChute just in case, and I think this is a long overdue thing to start spreading across other platforms, perhaps because YouTube is what it is, and I think most of you know, if you are here, you are probably watching YouTube very frequently and regularly, and you probably already have a list of your favorite YouTubers, and they all complain about the same stuff basically, so that's no point in repeating all of that here, but you know what it is, YouTube is what it is, and you have to prepare yourself, and I think it is really not just for me but for everyone on this platform. It's long overdue for us to actually start spreading out and seeking out new options. And I can just pray to God basically that it finally happens, because it has to happen, because YouTube it's not as horrible as it sometimes looks, and there are good parts still in this entire weird system, perhaps, and the comfort of uploading, of course, is such, and the technology is good enough to justify a lot of little troubles, but the little troubles sometimes grow exponentially, and they are no longer that little for some of the YouTubers that have had bad times and problems with saying what they think, even in the most polite way possible for them. So this is something I really hope for all of us, that there will be a YouTube alternative sooner or later. What else do I hope for in this year? I hope I will be able to start learning another language. That's, I believe, of no interest to you at all, because I will still be doing this thing in English, of course. But it would be just about time for me, since I am getting so confident and happy with my English for now. It would be just about the time for me to start and refreshing maybe French or German, for example, which are the other two languages that I know something of, and I'm sometimes capable of understanding a few things in them, especially German, but not really able to speak in them. So that would be another thing to do in my more private life. I need to read more. I really like reading more books. I did not do a great job on that front last year, so I need to read more, especially that outside of video games, it's probably my only hobby, only alternative way of spending free time is reading, and I have not been very, what would you say, diligent on that front, and it actually may have an influence on the content. I have the alternative channel that is dead, basically nothing is happening there. And maybe I should finally, force myself a little and start talking about some more serious stuff than just video games over there. And I think I may try that at some point this year, and don't know when. I had a very nice situation. That's absolutely the last thing I'm going to tell you. I had a nice situation on Christmas. This is a Polish Christmas, of course, so there's probably more people with a slightly at least religious inclination than maybe in other countries that are listening. And the part of my family is in this camp, so to say, in this group, that they are not exactly satisfied with the church and stuff. That's all another can of snakes that I'm not going to go very deep into now, but they're not very satisfied, and yet they kind of want to explore. And we had a sitting, explore the religious side of life, the spiritual and all that. And we had a little sitting on the Christmas Eve, and somebody wanted to read a passage from the Bible, and since I was pretty much the only person at the table that has some sort of history-related interest and some sort of Bible-related interest, the task befell to me to read a passage about Joseph and the like, and I read it, and there was a surprisingly interesting discussion, I would say, afterwards between us. A surprisingly interesting discussion and surprisingly detailed discussion that you would not expect at a family gathering of this sort, I don't think, usually. And that gave me a little bit of a hope that maybe I am actually able to speak about rather complex history-related and literature-related stuff with some degree of, well, competence seems a little bit grandiose, but with some degree of well, I'm able to speak about it interestingly, so to say. So maybe that's a thing to do, because you go to a church in Poland and absolutely most of it is crap. The interpretation, the homilies is boring and just, oh God, just horribly simplified, and it's not good. It's not great. It's sad. It's sad. Because you cannot understand, you cannot criticize something and reject something, I don't think, without understanding it, and understanding it is almost freaking forgotten and forbidden. And these days, at least from my perspective where I'm sitting, it's just not something that anyone tries. Everybody has an opinion about the past, the religious past, the institutional religion, the Bible, the stuff. Everybody has an opinion. Nobody has any sort of even shred of a competence, to be quite frank. And that's kind of been a theme of my Christmas, so to say. A thing I thought much about during the Christmas hiatus and my break. So maybe, who knows? I will try to keep it as neutral, ideologically neutral as I possibly can, if I do it. And one could even say inclusive as much as possible. So who knows? If it goes this way, I will certainly let you know in an update here and on this channel as well. So you don't have to search for it and be impatient. If it happens, you will most likely know if you are subscribed and so forth and so on. Okay, so that's the long-term plans, the short-term plans. The short-term plan, the most shortest term plan is to finish editing my the next episode for my playthrough. And that's what I'm going to do right after I finish uploading this. And I hope you all have a great year. And I hope it will be great for you, even if it will be, as troublesome and disheartening as the last one. There is still a possibility, which I experienced last year a few times. There's still a strong possibility that you can find something in your private life that will get you through and that will make things more hopeful and more stable to you internally, at least. And that's my wish to you. No matter what happens, no matter what it will be, stay strong, stay interested in life in general, and in Skyrim, hopefully for me as well, and in builds, and peace, love, and all the other platitudes. So, guys, all right, have a very good year in any way possible, and be strong and entertain yourself, and don't think about things you cannot change, and have the courage to change the things you can, which is a brilliant saying, I believe, from the AA gatherings. All right, bye.